Hey neighbor, today we're talking about something I've had for the last 15 years and it has served me well, but it's time to move on. I'm talking about asparagus. What looks like a regular old weedy patch right here, which it is my old asparagus bed, and we're still harvesting asparagus off of it. Not as big as what you would get in the grocery store, but some nice size asparagus as you see right here. You can see here they're starting to come up right there, and here's another one I just picked right here. We like to pick them in this stage right here. If you don't pick them, then they do this right here is what I call fern up. That's F-E-R-N. They make a fern after that, and that's the top. If you don't pick them at this stage, you miss your harvest, and they do this in a couple of days. So it's important to go out there and catch them at the right time. I planted this bed about 15 years ago, and I really kept it up for probably the first 8 to 10 years, kept the weeds out of it, kept it fertilized, kept it watered, 25, 30 foot row, and man, it just produced like crazy. And then the weeds kind of took over. Well, the fact of the matter is, if you have asparagus long enough, the same thing's gonna happen to you. But you know what? We still been getting harvest off of it every year. We still eat asparagus for about 4 to 5 weeks every year. Now, there's not but 2 of us at home, so it don't take a lot. We just had asparagus the other night. We just come out here and what I call forage. You know, when we see it, we just grab it, pick us a few spears of it, and then we have some for supper. It's about played out. What I've noticed is a lot of my spears are getting weak, getting small like this right here. I hadn't fertilized, hadn't done anything, and the weeds have encroached. It's just time to probably start over, and that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to start over, plant me a new asparagus bed, but I'm going to do it a little different way. So I've decided to use a raised bed, a 4x8 raised bed for my next asparagus patch. I honestly think it'll be easier to keep the weeds out of it and keep it clean. And you know, a 4x8 patch is going to be a plenty just to feed the 2 of us. So I'm going to give this a try, and of course we're going to try something a little bit different. My old asparagus was Mary Washington, which was an heirloom variety, served me well. I'm going to do something different this time. We're going with purple passion asparagus. Now on the raised bed, the recommendations are to go 8 to 10 inches deep with a trench. Well, I'm limited on room somewhat with my raised bed than I would be if I was doing in-ground. If I was doing in-ground, I would probably square out the bottom with a square point shovel and have more room to make my trench. But the raised bed, I don't have as much, so I did as well as I could. I dug down. I don't have it as flat in the bottom as I would have if I was doing it just outside on the bare ground. So, but it'll be okay. So we've got it dug down here. 8 to 10 inches. I got good soil here, but if you got clay, you still want to go down about 8 inches there to plant your asparagus. Now I'm going to take some phosphorus, this is super phosphate, and put it down in my trench before I plant my asparagus. Yeah, now your phosphorus is your middle number in your fertilizer analysis. Phosphorus is generally accepted to use for root growth. Corn likes a lot of phosphorus. Most other plants don't use as much. Most of our root crops like it. But with this asparagus, we've really got to have a lot of root development down there because it's going to be 2 to 3 years before we can start harvesting. So we want to encourage it to have an intense root system, because when we harvest those spears, actually what it does is it stresses that plant and it shoots up more spears. So we got to have a really healthy plant for us to be able to harvest. And phosphorus is a good nutrient to put down in our trench right here. We're going to incorporate it in just a little bit. So when that plant starts growing, it's got that phosphorus in it, it can really dig in and get a good root system down there. Now I'm just going to mix this up a little bit, not much, maybe top 2 or 3 inches of soil there. Just kind of mix it in as best I can. And then we're going to lay out our asparagus crowns. We've got 25 in this bundle. I doubt we use them all. See the crown right there? We want to space them just like that, pointing upwards. We're going to come back down here. We're going to kind of spread it out the best we can there. And we're going to plant them about, I don't know, 8 to 10 inches apart. Now, if I had a wider bottom here, if I was planting them out on the flat ground, the square bottom shovel would have me a good trench here, and I could spread these roots out a little bit better. I don't really have that option with the raised beds because I don't have that much room, but it'll be fine. All right, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 crowns there planted on this side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of topsoil, about 2 inches, and I'm gonna cover these crowns up just enough to cover them good. And I got me some good compost here. I'm gonna lightly put me some of that over the top of it. And then I like to use complete organic, and I'm just gonna sprinkle me some over the top of that right there. And you can work it in or not, it doesn't matter. I think I'm gonna work mine in just a little bit there with my hand, just the top inch or so. I'm gonna do my other side exactly like I did this side. Then I'm gonna pull my irrigation back over there, and I'm gonna keep it watered well for a few days. And my asparagus is gonna come through this trench right here, sprout and come up. When it does, I'm gonna layer. I'm gonna add some more of this compost, some more good complete organic, and mix it in with some good topsoil, and I'm gonna add another 2 inches there. Continue to do that till it grows up. We'll continue to add soil till it gets soil level. At that point, we're gonna fertilize it again, and we're gonna let it do its thing. We're gonna keep it nice and moist during the summertime, because we want to encourage that root system to grow. Now, the bad thing about asparagus is you gotta have patience to grow it. 2 to 3 years before you can really start harvesting it. Sometimes that's taxing. Now, you can sneak out here probably after a year and get you a little bit, but you really want to grow this root system in. That's the reason we have to wait so long, because if we go in there in a year's time and cut all those spears out, and we don't have that dense root system to supply that plant with enough resilience to come back, it's going to die. We don't want to do that. So we want to encourage all that intense growth underneath there, so that when it does shoot that spear up, we cut it off, it can shoot another one up and another one off. Now, eventually you're going to miss some of those spears, and it's okay. That's what's going to make your tops to your ferns. I normally leave those on there till the fall time, then I come back in the late fall, right before good freezing. I'll kind of cut those off and clean up my bed a little bit. But I honestly think somebody could take a 4x8 raised bed just like this right here and have plenty of asparagus for 2 to 3 people.